Hey, it's Jennah, the Director of Nursing with Bright Star Care of Plano. I want to review with you today the Kangaroo e-pump for tube feeds. The pump is a great tool for tube feeds in the home. It's lightweight, very portable, and very user-friendly. I've got two examples for you today. One is set up to run as a battery unit. One is set up on a charger with an adapter to be screwed into an IV pole or a bedstand type pole for standard feeding when someone is bedbound. On your Kangaroo pump, you'll find the power button in the lower corner. Press and hold the power button to initiate your therapy. You'll see the Kangaroo hop across, and if you notice, this particular pump is prompting me to load a set. To load your set, we'll rotate your pump to the blue door, which you'll squeeze and swing open. Your set will consist of a bag where you'll pour your tube feed, a line that connects to your patient, and then a loading portion of your line. You'll have two pieces on your loading portion, a larger circle with a tab, and then a smaller circle. This loading piece will only fit into your pump one direction. In case you ever forget which direction to load your pump, there's a handy photo that tells you steps 1, 2, and 3. For step 1, you'll take your tabbed piece, slide it down into your pump. Step 2, you'll stretch under the black wheel, pull up, and then for step 3, slide the final piece into the base. You'll then make sure both of your lines are up out of the way, and you'll swing your door closed and snap it shut. At this point, your machine will automatically recognize that a set has been loaded. You now have some options. You can prime your pump, or you can adjust your feed. When your tube feed's filled in your bag, you would go to your prime pump selection, at which point in time you would run your feed through the line. Today I want to talk about how to adjust your rates. So if you're going to adjust your feed, you'll then have two choices, a feed rate and a rate for VTBD, which is your volume. We're going to adjust our feed rate, and you'll notice that this screen has several lines and arrows. So this is going to take you back to when you were in elementary school and you had to worry about whether things were in the ones place, the tens place, or the hundreds place. If you notice, you've got a line and an arrow for your ones place, your tens place, and your hundreds place. In this instance, we're going to say our physician wants us to infuse at 45 cc's an hour. I'm going to select the line for my ones place, and I'm going to press that arrow 5 times until I get a 5 in my ones place. I'm going to now move to my tens place and press 4 times. That gives me a rate of 45 cc's an hour. I'm finished setting my rate, so I'll hit enter. You notice on my screen my rate has been set at 45 cc's an hour. I'm also going to go in and adjust my volume. Now you notice there's an extra line here. I've got my ones place, I've got my tens place, I've got my hundreds place, and now I have my thousands place. The reason you've got a thousands place on here is because your standard tube feed large bottle, especially the ones that you see in facilities, are going to come in a volume of 1,000 cc's. Let's say in this case that our physician wants us to go ahead and infuse 550 cc's. I already have a 0 in my ones place. I'm going to put a 5 in my tens place. I'm going to put a 5 in my hundreds place, and I'm now showing a volume of 550 cc's. I'll hit enter. Now if you notice on my home screen, I have a rate of 45 cc's an hour. I have a volume total of 550 cc's an hour, and my machine is telling me I have infused 0 cc's of my total volume. At this point in time, provided I have primed my pump and attached my patient, I can select run. When I select run, I'm going to get a message that my pump is running, and I'm also going to have a drip that's dripping down my screen, and I'm going to have a green indicator light. These things let me know that my pump is indeed infusing tube feed into my patient. If for any reason I need to stop my feed, I'm going to press hold. You notice I now have a message of holding, as well as a drip that is not dripping, and a yellow light rather than green. It gives me a whole new menu where I can go in and readjust my settings, or I can choose to go ahead and run again. And I even have an option of being able to run at a certain time. So for instances where maybe you had to go and put in a medication, but you can't eat for 30 minutes after taking it. I can actually go in and set that for 30 minutes, in which case the pump will then automatically count down the 30-minute timer and restart itself at the preset rate after the 30 minutes has expired. In my case, I just want to restart my pump, so I'm just going to select my run option. As you notice, again, I have a drip and a green light, which tells me that my pump is functioning. Now, to power off my pump, I'll stop it from running, and then you're going to hold down your power button. There is a trick to this. If you hold down your power button, but you don't hold it through the entire countdown, it's going to reset directly back to the screen that you were on, just in case you accidentally bumped it and didn't mean to turn it off. You actually have to hold down through the entire countdown sequence in order for your pump to then power off, where all your screen will go black and your lights will go dark. At this point in time, your pump is powered off. You can turn to the side screen, open your door, and instead of 1, 2, 3, now we're going to go 3, 2, and 1. Removing our set, closing our door, and having our pump ready for our next feeding session.